Dumont brings you Pantomime Quiz. Will not be seen tonight, so we can instead bring you Countdown, the longest continuously running 8 p.m. news hour on cable, unless you consider Fox News. Our primary replays at 11 p.m. Eastern, at 11 p.m. Pacific. We call it Our Little Guest Lecture. It was a moment from last month that seemed like it better belonged in 1955. A 96-year-old African-American woman in Tennessee went to vote, bringing with her her Social Security card, her Chattanooga Police Department issued photo ID, her voter registration card, her rent receipt, and her birth certificate. It was not enough. She did not have, under a new law, a state-issued voter ID card. In our third story on the Countdown, Congressman Keith Ellison, who joins us presently, has had enough. He is co-sponsoring one bill to permit same-day registration, another to fight back against the voter ID scam, collectively a kind of voter's Bill of Rights. In addition, a larger group of Democrats is sending letters to every Secretary of State and election administrator across the country. One of them, Charles Gonzalez of Texas, says Governor Rick Perry declared a legislative emergency to ram through the disenfranchisement of certain citizens.
It's going to be the elderly. It's going to be the minorities, of course. It'll be the disabled.
His Texas colleague Al Green added an ironic detail about Texas voter identification.
If it's your gun license, then it's a good photo ID. If it's your student ID, it's not enough of an ID.
Judy Chu of California said Asian Americans will be harmed because they vote by mail more than most, and that option is being restricted.
But this year, this right is being eroded right before our very eyes. An unprecedented 42 bills in states attacking the rights of U.S. citizens.
And Emanuel Cleaver of Missouri compared the Republican effort to poll taxes and literacy tests, the ones that stopped his own grandfather from voting in the Jim Crow era.
Every American ought to be ashamed at what's going on in this country.
As promised, here is Representative Keith Ellison of Minnesota. Good evening, sir.
Hey, good evening, Keith. How are you?
Very good. And yourself?
Well, you know, I'd be better if these crazy voter IDs laws were not proliferating all over America, but we're fighting against it.
Is it too late to unravel this the voter suppression effort by the Republicans?
Well, it's too late to stop them from starting, but it's not too late to stop them at all. I mean, if we have a massive awakening of Americans all across this country who insist that people get to vote and to select their leaders, I think we can beat these things back. I mean, but by no means have we even begun to fight, you know, and so I'm entering my bills, I'm filing them, even against this very tough Republican majority, because I really want to see every person be able to cast a vote and select leaders of their choice, which is something that these voter ID laws are trying to prevent. They don't want to win on the issues. They just want to exclude certain people from being able to vote, like Dorothy Cooper from Chattanooga, Tennessee, who you just talked about.
For people whose wallet might be stuffed with IDs and more than they'd want, and stuff from the state and stuff from the federal government, the nuisance factor may still be obvious. If you didn't have one and you have to go and get one, it's the same kind of pain in the butt no matter where you are, what your voter circumstances is, or the color of your skin, or what religion you are. But explain the other part of it, why it becomes like a poll tax, why that comparison is apt.
Well, because, first of all, in some states you have to pay for the ID. And even in the states where they say you don't have to pay for the ID, you have to pay for documents to get this state-issued ID, such as a passport, or you might have to pay a fee to get your birth certificate. You have to get transportation to get these documents. And so it is a poll tax in time and in money. Just think about a person who may happen to be homebound, may not have a car, maybe they're even in a wheelchair. They may have to leave the place they live, perhaps a nursing home, get on a bus, travel across town, and take what little money they have to get the documents to then go to the authority to get the state-issued ID. This is a poll tax. It is a price to pay before you can vote.
Let me ask you about the second measure, the one about same-day registration. Is there any evidence where we've had this, or we've experimented even with short-term registration by mail? Is there anything that suggests that that enables the voter fraud the Republicans claim to be fighting against?
Their claims of fraud are a fraud. We've had same-day voter registration in Minnesota for a long time, and it has served both parties. I mean, Tim Pawlenty was a Republican governor elected with same-day voter registration, as was Mark Dayton, as was Governor Ventura, who was neither Republican or Democrat, but independent. This does not favor anybody except for those who want to get the vote out. So the fact of the matter is that we have the cleanest elections in the country in Minnesota. We also have the highest voter turnout. Same-day voter registration is easy to do, and we should encourage the practice. Sad thing about the Republican onslaught of these 34 states trying to reduce the electorate is that, the history of America has been increasing the trajectory of opportunity when it comes to voting. First of all, it wasn't good enough to be a white male to vote. You had to be a white male who was Protestant, who owned property. Then that changed. Then, of course, the Civil War came and black men could vote. Then women could vote. Then 18-year-olds could vote. The trajectory of voting has been an expansion of rights, and they are trying to roll this back. We cannot let it happen.
This is a little off what we've been talking about, but why do we vote on Tuesdays? Would not a switch to, say, either Saturday or Sunday, or maybe, what the hell, do it both days? You're only going to vote once anyway. Give them both days. Wouldn't that undercut most of the suppression efforts almost as easily as pushing back on IDs?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, that's a great bill idea, Keith. I'll get working on it. But, there's a lot of things that have been put in place to undermine people's ability to get to the polls. And I think voting on a work day is one of them.
Yep.
Saturday's a great idea to vote. We should have a national holiday so people can go vote. But, ever since, for the whole history of the vote, it's been fought over. We've had vote dilution. We've had raw, naked terrorism to stop people from voting at the polls. We've had every kind of trick and device to keep people from being a part of this electorate. And you know what? They're still up to it. But when people come together, we can defeat these things. So I'm confident, and I'm telling you, all over the country, people are waking up to this stuff. I mean, the NAACP is waking up to it. The Brennan Center issued a great report saying that up to 5 million people, or 1.5% of the electorate, could be shaved off if these bills are allowed to go into place. We're asking for, in some cases, the Department of Justice, in some cases, lawsuits to be filed, but there's nothing better than good old people power. And I hope and pray that the Occupy movement takes this voter suppression effort up as an issue of theirs. I'm not trying to invade on their prerogative, but I think that would be a very good idea as they fight for a greater level of justice in America to think about how this voter suppression movement is trying to curtail their rights.
Yep. The two things go hand in glove, as they say. Representative Keith Ellison from the Minnesota 5th. Always a pleasure, Congressman. Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. Bye.
The Texas judge caught on tape beating his then 16-year-old daughter who had cerebral palsy says it was totally justified. The real story hadn't come out yet, and it involves money. Worst person's ahead on Countdown.